Hello, my name is Rebel Black, and I am a human agronomist and metaphysical muse gifted with the art of guiding people to experience their deepest desires, to move through their pain, and live as their most enlivened, energetic expression. In this session, I shall be guiding you through a protocol called forensic healing, with the pure intention for you to experience energetic alignment and healing as a result of this experience. Of course, healing can only occur when all parties involved in the healing space take full responsibility for their own well-being and when they also believe that healing can occur. I want you to know that I have full faith that whatever it is that you are listening to this to resolve, heal, or clear can be achieved, and whatever messages, memories, or insights you gain today, you are ready to receive, and it will be in your highest good to heal and activate. I want you to know that you are safe in this healing. So please make sure you are in a place where you feel safe. Forensic healing does not promote the functions of medical diagnosis or prescribed medication. So please consider what is explored in this session as general in nature and seek further medical support from a qualified physician should you feel the need to. I like to describe forensic healing as a tool that helps identify, make sense of, and get to the root cause of any patterns that have played a big role in our life but are now limiting us, and to heal that pattern once and for all. Most healing is symptom focused, but forensic healing gets to the truth and heals forward and backwards in our lineage, allowing us to be free and for us to experience life in new ways. It is particularly useful for healing the root cause of any symptoms you might be experiencing in your life, including in relationships, career, finances, physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and in your life in general. As I work through this healing protocol, I shall be using a number of different scan lists to identify the key aspects of the case. You may hear me counting numbers, or there may be periods of silence. What I'm doing in those moments is using muscle testing to tune into the correct information on the scan list as it relates to your case in particular. The information I share as we move through the protocol may trigger particular memories for you. Trust that these memories are clues to the pattern and are often your first or one of your first experiences of the pattern in your life. And I want you to know that if something is triggered for you and you feel deeply or strongly as a result, you won't experience the feeling for long if you really allow yourself the time and space to feel the feelings that come up and continue to move through with the healing. This protocol works really effectively and quickly. And I want you to remember you can pause this recording at any time and take notes, express the emotion, move your body, but I do recommend that you listen to the whole session in one sitting. It is now time to set your intention for this healing. What is it that you are here to be guided on? Is there something that is causing you distress or discomfort that you want to explore or shift? Is there a bigger intention you are looking for, or are simply trusting you will be guided? Please note this down somewhere so you can refer to it at the end. Our relationship to our body is really important in healing, as it provides messages, and we use it as a way to identify whether our healing work is having an effect. So, for your reference, please note down the answers to the next few questions, as we will refer to them at the end of the healing. So, can I ask that you please now tune into your body and scan with your mind's eye to see if there are any areas of discomfort or disharmony. Identify where the sensation is and give the sensation a rating out of 10. 0 being barely noticeable and 10 being incredibly sensational. I'm now going to invite you to get to know this sensation a bit better. Please just trust that the first thing that comes to mind is the right thing, even if it seems odd. When you tune into the sensation, what shape is it? Does it have color? What color is it? Is it moving or static? And what feeling or emotion does it tell you it is? Now we are ready to heal. I've already opened the healing case, so we will move straight into the forensic healing protocols. So please make sure that you're comfortable, in a place you won't be disturbed, and perhaps you have some water and tissues nearby. Enjoy. This energy healing and reading relates to the left arm, particularly the back of the left arm and close to the shoulder. And it relates to responsibility, shouldering the struggle for others, being taken advantage of the feminine. Of course, the left-hand side is the feminine side and also relates to the past. and is also the burden, carrying the financial burden for a partner or someone close to you. The reading that's come through using the forensic healing protocol is the archetype of the outcast. So this archetype relates to being different, being unstable, being sneered at, and rejected. So it is that outcast energy that is sitting around this particular pain point, and it relates to the patterns of relationships and feeling worthless. And the relationships says you've struggled in your relationships, and close relationships might be difficult. This stretches your relationship skills and improves them for you to respond in a calm and assertive manner. And worthlessness says you have felt that you have never been validated as a person. People have put you down and made you feel inferior or good enough. It also has come through around the negative emotion of feeling restricted, and the opposite of that is feeling free. So there's a sense of restriction in the physical sense, physical experience of this. The shoulder and the back of the arm and the shoulder feeling restricted. But in general, this archetypal pattern of the outcast creates a restriction as well, with this craving for freedom. And then what happens is that more that we crave the freedom, the more restricted we become, because it becomes that sort of loop of never actually really achieving it. The negative belief has come through as the fear of ... So I really invite you to just now tune into the left shoulder and the left arm, the area of highest sensation, and just ask it, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? You might be surprised by the answer that comes through, but trust it. Trust whatever comes through in these sessions is right for you and right for you in this moment. The age that's come through is age 4. So it's likely that something happened at age 4 that has created this pattern and imprinted this pattern into your energetic system. So always thinking about big life things, some changes. Were there births or deaths around this time? Was there a change in home, as in was there a move, either in home or places, locations? Were you starting or finishing a school time? Maybe you were starting preschool, for example, or perhaps you started school early. So think about those sort of bolder pieces, I would say, and then the other bits of information that we're going to come through become like the sand filling up around those bigger rocks. So was there something that happened at age 4, births, deaths, big changes, moves, entries into somewhere new? And because at this age is when the damage occurred, or the pattern was imprinted that has now led to something that is no longer serving you. It may have been really helpful and really fabulous for you to this point, but it's come here, it's come alive and come to be expressed today so that it can be released. So the next pieces of information that have come through are around the soul matrix and quantum entanglement. And the way that I interpret that is that this pattern of the outcast and complication and challenges within relationships and feeling worthless and feeling restricted and having this fear is around this entanglement with others that is really coming through in the soul. So it's you may not be in proximity to this pattern, as in it could belong to somebody else. It's a long, long way from you, but the two of you are connected and at a soul level, and you just simply cannot get away from it. It's like you keep being dragged into their vortex despite not really being in proximity to them. And it's come through also with radiation. So it may be related to, radiation from wartime. It could be medical radiation. It could be actually even the sun, radiation of light, sound, and energy. But it feels like there's been this overwhelm, too much radiation. And it's almost like this being that you are entangled with is radiating in such intensity that you just cannot get away from it despite your attempts to do so. And so what we're going to need to do today is cut all ties with that, with that soul, with that entity. It's come through as the mental body in the auric system that was impacted at the time. Always think about it like there was a tear or a wound created at the time in the energetic system. And it relates to your ability to reason and rationalize. And what I really sensed into this when it came through was that it puts you in this loop of rationalization. It's almost like the rational mind has gone into overdrive and that you're looking for reasons for everything in a hyperdrive way rather than just allowing things to be. And that you feel like you've got to justify and rationalize every decision to such a high degree of scrutiny that you then are scared to make decisions. You're scared to just be spontaneous. You're scared to just do things for the sake of doing them, for the fun, for the frivolity. You've got to constantly rationalize and justify is the other word that came through. And again, this relates back to the archetype of the outcast, feeling different, unstable, feeling rejected. So there's a lot of self-rejection going on here that sits in this sort of constant rationalization and reasoning. And the other impact that came through in the chakra system is sexual energy. Now, that wouldn't necessarily happen at age 4 in the sense that it was, not necessarily there was any sort of impact sexually, but something shut down within that chakra system, the central system, that relates specifically to your sexual energy. So if you struggle with sexual drive and really wanting to have that sort of physical intimacy and deep connection with sexuality through your sexuality, then this is the point at which that, this moment in time was the point at which that was changed and interrupted and damaged and impacted. And we're going to change that forever today. We're going to heal that wound so that you can be really in the powerful energy of sex, of your sexual energy, of your drive. And of course, this energy is also related, and this chakra is also related to abundance and manifestation and birth and creation. So it's a really creative center. And if there's an impact there, then it would stand to reason that you kind of struggling with, pure creativity for the sake of it, just for the sake of it, not for any purpose or not to have to reason or rationalize it, but just because it feels good. The same as sex can just feel good. But you probably haven't had that experience or allowed yourself to receive that experience because you haven't had the alignment in your energetic body in order for that to happen. So the other pieces of information that came through were around youth, the female lineage. It was yourself, so it was you that did this to yourself. So it might have just been an experience that you had at age 4 that just made you shut down, for example, or make a decision or implant this fear, something that you decided that you were afraid of. Pain comes through, and so that makes sense in terms of the physical sensation that was called through for this healing. It comes through as the reason that it happened is for revenge. And that may be self-revenge, punishment that you're giving to yourself for something in your past. Again, I really get the sense of soul coming through in this. It talked about soul matrix and, this sort of pattern integrity of your soul. It's like there's a very vengeful aspect of you, of your soul that is, has served you very well, but actually is now being turned around on you and is causing, distress and struggle and to keep you stuck in this loop of being rejected and feeling unworthy and being afraid. And particularly as it relates to the female lineage, and it's just very past stuff. So it's time to let it go. So the other thing that came through was that there are negative, the parasitic entities in the mind are encouraging self-destructive behavior. Now, this may be really a behavior that you're conscious of, and I'm thinking here of any kind of addictive type behavior like, shopping, spending money, alcohol, drugs, physical addictions, pain. We get addicted to pain. We get addicted to work. So it's anything where there's an overt destruction that you kind of may or may not be aware of, but it's definitely the voices are kind of keeping you in this loop of self-destructive behavior. And what they are saying is you'll never have enough to survive. You'll never have enough to survive. And so that then keeps you in this destructive loop where you're just constantly feeling rejected, constantly feeling unworthy, and feeling restricted and fearful. So we're going to heal that. So I really want to invite you to the openness of healing these wounds, healing this pattern, letting it feel and be expressed. So make sure that you're really invested in this healing process, committed to it, because if you are, you will change your life instantly. So you are going to repeat after me. When I say my name, you're going to say yours. You're going to repeat these statements with passion and commitment and dedication. The more you put into this, the more likely it is that the pattern will be broken. So, I rebel, cancel, void, and reject the parasitic demonic entity causing the effect of the encouragement of self-destructive behavior. I rebel, reject and refuse the lies the parasitic entity voices tell me that I'll never have enough to survive. I acknowledge the lies and deception of this parasitic entity and reclaim control over my mind, thoughts, sovereignty, birthright, and divinity. I reclaim the truth that there is always plenty for me to thrive, that I am worthy of receiving great abundance, that I can survive and thrive, and there is always enough. I close all harmful portholes, gateways, grid systems, stargates, and access routes to my energy field, and refuse any demonic or parasitic entity access to my mind, body, and soul. I choose to live as a sovereign, powerful, divine being, and only accept information and connection from the pure organic source energy. I choose to live in oneness with humanity from this point forward. I am blessed and I am free. Take a nice big deep breath in and give your whole body a shake. Get your feet stamping, create some energy, get some movement. Pay particular attention to shaking the parts of yourself that you were experiencing sensation where you identified at the beginning of this session. Give it a nice big shake. Let that energy be free. Use your body as a means to release these emotional patterns. Great. Okay, so now we're going to do a soul healing. And it's come as a spiritual soul peace activation. So that's going to be beautiful. The spiritual soul peace activation pathway accesses the primordial energy from the solar body of light to restore spiritual peace. It removes chaos, anxiety, dysfunction, and anti-life programming stored in the cell's soul and consciousness, and includes soul connection to the celestial birth chart, closes harmful portholes and siphon energy, and rewrites the soul blueprint for peace and freedom. So that's super interesting, given that in the reading, we came through with that feeling of restriction, and the opposite of restriction is freedom. And so that's what this healing is going to share. And I also thought it was interesting that it talks about the energy from the solar body of light. If you remember, I spoke about with the quantum entanglement, this sort of feeling that there's this radiation, we had radiation came through, this radiating force that you just simply cannot disconnect from. And it isn't necessarily the sun itself, but there's definitely this solar body. And so it was corrupted. It's been corrupted in this particular pattern for you. And so this healing, this spiritual soul peace activation, is going to correct that. So just relax and enjoy these words as I speak to them. Allow them to filter into every cell of your body. Accessing all levels of advanced consciousness, advanced dimensions, the guardians and enlightened beings, I, Rebel, request the removal and cancellation of the soul matrix, quantum entanglement, and the genital implants, genital clamps, modifications, or holographic inserts found in the inner aura energy body. The clamps or metal structures block organic life force energy from opening into the auric energy body and moving up the central vertical channel, the hara line. This process suppresses a person's consciousness, blocks their ascension process, and opens their energy field for harvesting. So we are now requesting the removal and cancellation of the soul genital implants for you, for your spiritual soul peace activation through access to the powers of the sun, life force, and energy, access to the primordium from the solar body of light, balance, repair, and alignment of your heart rate, health, and rhythm, connection to your celestial birth chart of the Angelus, cancellation and removal of soul-forced recycling trapped in the astral plane, cancellation of the counterfeit schematics, earth blueprint, cancellation of AI anti-life reversal, cancellation and removal of energy portholes, siphoning your soul consciousness energy. Now I'm going to do a heart activation. You can do this alongside of me if you like. You want to place your fingers together in a little bunch, both hands, and place them at the center of your heart chakra, just at the center of your chest. We're just going to imagine energy flowing into that space to activate our heart chakra. And you are going to repeat after me now. When I say my name, you say yours. I, Rebel, confirm my soul's peace activation and coding through the removal of the soul genital implants relating to the age of 4. I confirm my soul and DNA is coded for humanity, peace, and connected to my organic life force. I choose to be free, sovereign, and live in oneness with humanity from this point forward. Nice big deep breath in. And release. Okay, it's telling me there's another healing pathway, so let me just check what that is. Physical. And it is an allergy. Okay, so it's come through as a allergy to melanocyte stimulating hormone. It is a group of hormones produced by the pituitary gland, hypothalamus, and skin cells. It's important for protecting the skin from UV rays, development of pigmentation, and control of appetite. Well, that is interesting indeed, since we just had this healing around the sun, the primordial sun, and then the galactic sun, and then also that came through in that quantum entanglement and radiation. So we are going to heal this. That's super interesting, because the pages stuck together. So I'm going to do 2 things. That was not an allergy. That was actually a hormone that we need to balance. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll go to the allergy. So just repeat after me. When I say my name, you say yours. I, Rebel, choose to balance the melanocyte stimulating hormone in my body. I choose to have my body physically aligned and release the related cause at age 4. I now choose to realign, reconnect, rebalance the DNA in my body so I'm free and fully connected to my source energy. Now we're going to test for an allergy. And it has come through as piperine. Let me just check what piperine is. Piperine Piperine is, along with its isomer chavosine, is the alkaloid responsible for the pungency of black pepper and long pepper. And it has been used in some forms of traditional medicine. And I'm just seeing if there's any other information. Nope, it's just showing that there's an allergy to this. So an allergy to piperine, which is contained within pepper. And so we're going to heal that as well. So repeat after me. When I say my name, you say yours. I, Rebel, choose to release the piperine allergy in my body. I choose to have my body physically aligned and release the related cause at age 4. I now choose to realign, reconnect, rebalance the DNA in my body so I am free and fully connected to my source energy. Big deep breaths in and out. Now that's all the healing. So I'm going to do a DNA healing and then we will close the case. I request healing sound frequencies to reconnect and realign your DNA, your RNA, chromosomes, wormholes, nucleotides, and hypercommunication. I request the purification and cleansing process of white and gold and pure organic light dissolve all negative energies and attachments from you, from myself, from this room, from this building, from this surrounding area, anything or anyone affected by this healing. I request closure and disabling of harmful portals, gateways, channels, stargates, NAA firewalls, and access routes to other dimensions and realities, controlling, interfering, or siphoning your soul and energy life force. I confirm the etheric, astral, mental, and causal light bodies are cleansed and strengthened, and that all Sephirotic healing forces are activated and connected to the organic, pure, white light source for the opening of the crystal rose heart and activation of your diamond sun body. I confirm and invoke the Christ consciousness light and request the guardians and angels to pour blessings upon you for all the things you require to obtain soul freedom and sovereignty. I ask they guide and protect you and lead you on a path of empowerment to assist with the evolution of your soul and humanity. I ask that healing may continue throughout this time and that you may always know that you are of divine, infinite worth and you hold the power and the choice for your transformation. I confirm these requests have taken place and this healing is complete. As you re-enter the full experience of your body and surroundings, please just tune back into your body and particularly into the sensation you identified at the beginning of the healing. What's the rating now? Has it shifted? What is the shape and color? And what feeling is attributed now? If you think about the issue that you came in to heal, what's your experience of it? Whatever it is, that is perfect. It may be similar or the same or completely different. Perhaps the sensation is gone altogether. Just know that the healing is complete. Sometimes it takes a little while for our person to catch up with the healing that's already been done. So please be kind to yourself always, but particularly so over the next 48 hours or so. Drink plenty of water, ground yourself by eating nourishing foods, whole grains and vegetables, and move your body to support any further shifting that wants to be had. Our energetics can shift quickly, but sometimes our body and our behavior takes a bit to catch up. So please just pay attention to that and reach out into the Wild Women group if you require any support to enhance your integration. Remember, you are love and you are a powerful co-creator in your life, and you are here to be enlivened and to have fun. May you bloom where you are. May your bower be blessed, and may you always know your wild worth.